ever pick up a pro's racket? Perfectly strung, like a work of art.
Right.
But there's serious science behind those strings. Today's deep dive, we're cracking open the playbook used by the best in the biz, BSW. They're the ones training and certifying the pros who string those rackets.
Yeah, they're the gold standard, no doubt. Most players, they don't realize how much goes into it. It's not just whacking a few strings on there.
Exactly. BSW starts with the racket itself. Frame material, I always thought it was about looks, But they're saying it massively changes your game.
Huge impact. It's physics, right? You got your stiff frames, think like a wooden baseball bat, max energy transfer, you're gonna boom those serves, but less forgiving. Timing's off, you'll feel it.
Makes sense. Then you have your flexible frames, more forgiving, I guess.
Right.
More control. And this is key, you sacrifice some of that raw power. So yeah, choosing your frame. Step one is knowing your game.
Yeah.
Then you got your strings. Natural gut versus synthetic, BSW goes deep on this.
Yeah, I always thought it was just about like how long they last, but BSW, they say it's way more nuanced.
Oh, absolutely. Natural gut. Think feel. It's all about that elasticity, that sweet, sweet feel for the ball.
Yeah.
Spin, like those drop shots that just die over the net. Gut's your friend.
Okay, so delicate touch, but synthetics, I'm guessing those are more like workhorse strings.
Exactly. Way more durable, predictable. They hold tension longer, which for consistent performance is huge. So yeah, trade-offs like with everything else.
Right, gotta find what works for you. Then there's gauge. I had no idea it made such a difference. Oh, massive. BSW compares it to choosing your weapon. Thinner gauge, that's control. Think like a surgeon's scalpel, placing your shots. But if you want power,
Yeah, hit those rockets.
thicker gauge is like a trampoline. You're gonna launch that ball.
Wow, so much to think about before even stringing, which, by the way, BSW has this whole system for, like a secret society of techniques and patterns.
It's an art. Take the two-piece method, for example. Stringing the mains, the vertical ones, in two separate sections. Minimizes friction, boom, even tension across the whole racket head.
Wow, and the knots, I mean, these aren't your average slip knots.
No way. Those knots gotta withstand insane force every single shot. Mess it up. Racquet's toast mid-match. Nightmare fuel. BSW even teaches different knot types, each one with pros and cons. It's wild.
Intense. And then, of course, tension. BSW talks about dynamic tension. Now, what in the world is that?
Okay, so everyone gets how tight strings are, right? Static tension. But when that ball hits, the strings react. Dynamic tension's about how that feels, finding that sweet spot where your shots sing.
So, higher tension, less bounce, more control. Lower tension, more power, less predictable.
Exactly. Imagine tuning an instrument. Tight strings, crisp response. Looser, more power, less refined, maybe. BSW really stresses finding what works for your game. Even the weather matters, humidity, all that.
Wild. And they mentioned this thing, tension loss. Didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, it's real. Strings stretch, they lose their pep. BSW teaches you to predict it, compensate for it, keep that racket humming.
Like they're preempting the future of your racket. And they take personalization to another level, don't they?
Oh yeah, it's not one size fits all. They analyze your game, strengths, weaknesses, what you want to achieve, then bam, they create this custom string job. It's like tailoring a suit, but for tennis.
Love it. No more grabbing whatever's on sale. So BSW, they don't just teach this, they have their whole certification program.
Yeah, those certs are the real deal, different levels. Starts with the basics, climbs all the way to Master Tennis Tour Stringer. Imagine that on your resume.
Right. Instant respect.
Yeah.
But it's more than just, like, can you tie the knot right?
Way more. BSW, they're big on customer service too. Role-playing scenarios, how to deal with players, understand what they need. Because let's be honest, some tennis players, they can be particular.
Oh, I bet. High maintenance. So yeah, next time you're admiring a pro's racket, remember, beneath those strings, it's a whole world of science, skill.
And psychology, right?
Totally. Makes you wonder, could the right string job actually be the difference between winning and losing that big point?
Interesting. Something to think about.
We're the best string worldwide, passion and knowledge.